Welcome to this special video. I've just returned from a 2-week trip to Prague, Czech Republic, and 30 minutes driving from the place I was staying in Prague, there was the wonderful environment of Bohemia of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I actually did visit the places where they did capture a lot of in-game stuff, and I tried to make a comparison of the places I did visit. Alright, before we are going to the real footage, please enjoy on the background this beta footage, because I did record some new beta footage. Not that the final version isn't looking good, but to be honest, when you are there in the real life locations at the real forests of Kingdom Come Deliverance, where the game has been captured around with, in my opinion, the beta footage just really represents so good how the real world of Kingdom Come Deliverance looks. But since a couple of weeks, the modding tools are finally released, so I really hope modders will return or will create a mod where we are able to experience the old beta footage again. But enough about that so far. So the planning was the following. I was at Prague 2 weeks for a business trip, and in those 2 weeks I had a weekend for myself where I did decide to visit Prague, the city of Prague, on Saturday, along with the new building from Warhorse Studios, which is also located in Prague. Warhorse Studios is of course the creator of Kingdom Come Deliverance. And on Sunday I did want to visit the real life locations of the video game. So first up was the new building from Warhorse Studios. I was pretty curious how it looked since Google Street View hadn't been updated for the new location, and I did decide to check out where it was. It was a 45-minute walk to the studio from my hotel, so I could have taken metro, but I was too lazy to find out which line it was. And for that I did decide to do some nice walking, because I could do some sightseeing of the more urban Prague, I think, if you could name it like that, instead of the touristic city center. I did pass this oversection where trains would pass by over my head, literally, and it was quite eerie because there was no one here. I didn't meet anyone, no people walking there, or just hikers or whatever. It was really abandoned, and it would have been a pretty scary place if you go here at night. I mean, if you're like a group of people, you're really out there alone. I mean, there are no people around. So it was quite interesting to see this place and to capture it. And yeah, it was a new experience for me, because we don't have stuff like this in the Netherlands, really. So finally I did arrive around the new building complexes where Warhorse Studios should be located, so I knew I was pretty close. Just a few minutes remaining until I finally receive at this new building complex, which was again not at Google Street View yet, and I finally arrived. It turned out to be that it was just some kind of office complex, and Warhorse Studios was just located inside one of the probably offices in this building. So not really the fancy building with the Warhorse banners I was hoping for, but nevertheless, the day after it was time to finally visit the places from the game. So Sunday it was time to put on the soundtrack and drive to the locations. In preparation I did search up most of the real life locations, and also did watch this interesting video from YouTuber Get the Loot, who also did somewhat of a comparison of the in-game places versus the real places. He has this great comparison with the real life map versus the in-game map, which was pretty useful as well, and most of the places seems to be located near the Sasava River. The first location I went to was the Sasa Monastery. I know this was under construction in-game, so I was pretty much hoping it would be finished in real life. I arrived, it looked great on the picture, but it was still under construction, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, even nowadays in 2019, it is again under construction, because it's of course not still under construction, but from what I understood, this monastery is quite a lot under construction, according to this meme. So yeah, they shot this photo at the same place I'm standing right now here. It's pretty funny, but unfortunately it was under construction, because I was hoping I was able maybe to get into the monastery itself. But oh yeah, it is what it is. Up to the next place. While I was driving to the next place, I did find this quarry, and it could be me, but I was pretty sure I found the quarry also in-game. So when I was home now, actually since yesterday, I did decide to check out the game again to find this quarry. And yes, of course, the Quarry is in-game. I am not really 100% sure if this is the same one which I did visit, but definitely looks a lot like each other. So pretty cool to recognize that as well. But I was on my way to Ratite. As you see, this nice river should go to Ratite, and this is how the real-life castle of Ratite should be in comparison with the in-game version. And while the weather looked a lot better on that screenshot, it was there, of course, it was there, and it looked great, and especially the tower was very nice to recognize. Also here it was a little bit later in the evening already, it was 3 PM, so I had to hurry a bit to capture this location. And because it was getting dark pretty fast, this was unfortunately the last place I did make a video of. But before that, I made sure to visit the wonderful surroundings around all of these villages. I mean, walking there, I could have sworn sometimes that I did definitely recognize something from the landscape which I have seen in game. I mean, sometimes I even had a sense of direction where I was, because I was pretty sure I did visit that exact spot in the game as well, so that was pretty awesome. I mean, of course it was a pity that I could not visit all the real life locations as in the buildings and all, but to be honest, the only thing I really wanted was there being at their surroundings and taking a walk to the forest, because the forest is what I do remember, especially from the beta and from the game, walking there, and I just wanted to experience what it would be there in Bohemia to walk through the forest, which I do recognize from the game. And wow. Really, definitely the most impressive thing for me. While it might not look that impressive here on the video, this immediately reminded me of the beta graphics in game. Here, let me show it by comparison to you. This is a shot again from the beta, and while these trees have more leaves etc. on them, of course, because nowadays we are reaching winter and most of the leaves have fallen from the trees, the atmosphere truly was pretty much the same for me. I really had that same feeling in the real life forest in comparison with the in-game forest, so that's done amazingly well. The thing which definitely was noticeable and which I did not expect was how eerily quiet these forests were. That's something, again, I didn't really expect, but it was so quiet that except for a bird maybe chirping once in every 10 seconds, it was so quiet that you almost could hear your heart beat. I mean, you probably would not expect that from a forest, but really they were so exceptionally quiet. I have no idea why that is, but maybe it's because they're so desolate and so abandoned. But really an awesome and amazing experience, because I was walking these forests, which I was walking also in game for so long, and that was such a special feeling for me, and that might be one of my highlights in my stay at Czech Republic in Prague. So very cool experience, and I'm very glad I did visit these places. But again, I would love to return next year, March, April maybe, when it's not super hot, but the forest might be green again, and I really enjoyed my stay. So that was it for this video. I hoped again to record some more footage, but I didn't have enough time, and it was getting dark so fast that I could not visit all of the places, unfortunately, which I wanted to do. Again, I hope to return next year, maybe with some new footage of how green everything looks. And I would like to end this video with a long clip, which I did record also from the beta again. And I really hope now with the modding tools, I did say it earlier, modders are now able to get the assets back from the beta into the real game, and also please find a way to return the shader which was in the beta also in the real game, so we can enjoy this wonderful game, because that's what it is. Even if also, I mean, also the final version is a wonderful game, but I would love to play it again with the graphics from the beta version. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys at the next video. Take care and bye bye.